Welcome to the deep dive. We are jumping straight into the sources today, really looking at this shocking contrast
Yeah, it's pre-start.
between, incredible personal wealth and just brutal job cuts, all happening basically at the same time. We're calling it the Jeff Bezos paradox.
And it really forces you to ask fundamental questions, doesn't it? What does it actually mean when a system allows this? Allows extreme excess right next door to, well, extreme job insecurity.
Or even rewards it.
Exactly. That connection, that reward system,
Right.
that's what we need to unpack.
Okay, let's start with the hook then. The raw numbers kind of set the stage. First, you have these reports about Jeff Bezos' wedding celebration with Lauren Sanchez. Huge event.
Huge is maybe an understatement, the reported cost being thrown around. $50 million. $50 million.
Let's try to wrap your head around that number for a second. But then literally, what was it, 48 hours later?
Just 2 days later, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon, the company he founded, still the biggest shareholder,
Yeah.
announces this massive new round of corporate layoffs.
And massive is the word. Sources are confirming 14,000 corporate jobs are gone this week. We're talking engineers, managers, analysts. These aren't warehouse jobs. These are white-collar roles.
And that 14,000 might just be the start. There's speculation, talk that the total could hit 30,000 eventually.
So put those numbers together. That $150 million wedding.
Right. That single party paid for by one guy. It's the exact same amount of money needed to pay 500 highly skilled professionals, people making, say, $100,000 a year, their entire salary for a full year.
One party versus 500 livelihoods.
It's tough math.
And digging deeper, beyond just the money, is the human cost. Because this isn't new for Amazon, right? The sources show they already cut over 27,000 corporate jobs between 2022 and 2023.
That's right. So this 14,000 is just piling on, and it's hitting everywhere, even kind of ironically, HR, or as Amazon calls it, people experience and technology.
People experience, wow.
Yeah, and the timing, the way these things happen, the sources capture some really callous details. There's that story about the employee in Bengaluru, India.
Oh, I read that one. Just awful.
Right. They've been away, traveling, just got back from celebrating Diwali, which, for anyone listening, is a huge deal in India. It's about hope, family, light.
A time you should feel optimistic, secure.
Totally. So this person lands, switches their phone back on, and bam, before they even leave the airport tarmac, there's the email. Your position has been eliminated.
Didn't even get home.
Hadn't unpacked, hadn't settled back in, just gone. It says so much about where the human element ranks in these decisions.
And it's not isolated. There was another anecdote in the material about someone promoted to manager just last month. Got awards, praised for performance.
Top metrics, hitting all the targets, and then this week, laid off.
So the message this sends, especially to you listening, maybe working in a corporate job, it's deeply unsettling, isn't it?
It really is. It basically says when the company decides to restructure, maybe to please investors or implement new tech,
Wow.
your performance, your loyalty, even recent praise, it means nothing.
You could be the star performer.
Doesn't matter. If the algorithm or the AI model or the restructuring plan says your role is redundant, the human part just evaporates from the equation.
Okay, so that brings us to the why. Because let's be clear, Amazon wasn't struggling. Their operating income in 2024 was, what, over $36 billion?
Exactly. This wasn't about survival. It wasn't a financial emergency forcing their hand.
So if not that, what do the sources say is really driving these 14,000 cuts right now?
Well, the sources really point to two big interconnected things: rewarding investors and paving the way for AI. And the market's reaction tells you everything.
The stock price.
Right.
But
Amazon stock jumped 13% right after they announced the layoffs. 13%.
wow.
The signal from the market couldn't be clearer. Good job cutting those human costs. We like the sound of higher future profits. It directly incentivizes this kind of thing, even when the company is already hugely profitable.
And the tool enabling this optimization, as they call it, is increasingly AI. It's changing who's vulnerable.
Absolutely. And CEO Andy Jassy has been pretty blunt about it. The sources quote him from back in June 2025.
What did he say?
Basically, here it is. We will need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today. AI will reduce our total corporate workforce. It's not a secret. It's the stated strategy.
Yeah. It's just, for years, we heard automation was coming for blue-collar jobs, right?
Yeah.
Factories, trucking.
That was the narrative.
But what the sources are really showing now is that AI is hitting the white-collar work, the stuff that was supposed to be the safe middle-class career path.
That's the core shift. Think about what middle managers or analysts do day to day. They synthesize memos, draft reports, analyze data, make forecasts.
Right, the knowledge work.
And generative AI is getting incredibly good at exactly those tasks. It's not just helping the manager anymore. It's starting to replace the layers below senior leadership. It's making those human analysts and communicators, well, redundant in the corporate view.
And it's systemic, not just Amazon. The sources mentioned other big companies in 2025. Target cut 1,800 corporate jobs. UPS cut 14,000 management roles.
Globally, tech layoffs were over 120,000 last year. So if you're that college-educated professional who thought your job was secure, well, maybe that security was always conditional on AI not being quite good enough yet.
Which brings us back to the sheer concentration of wealth. Because this technology that eliminates jobs, it's massively accelerating profits for a tiny group of people at the very top, like Bezos.
Exactly. That contrast is key.
Let's try and get a handle on that wealth again. His net worth, it fluctuates, but it's around 180 to 200 billion dollars. Billion with a B.
It's almost impossible to conceptualize, but maybe think about the speed at which it grows. Based on trends, his wealth goes up by about $1,585 every single
second, while he sleeps, while he's eating breakfast.
While he's doing literally anything or nothing, it just accumulates. Now compare that.
Okay, compare that to someone working in an Amazon warehouse, the essential workers doing the physical labor, making maybe $36,000 a year. That's about $692 a week.
So here's the calculation that just stocks you in your tracks. Bezos makes more than that warehouse worker's entire weekly salary in less than half a second.
Less than half a second.
Not half an hour, not half a minute, 0.5 seconds. That's the scale of the gap we're actually living with.
And that $50 million wedding.
Yeah.
When you put it against the $200 billion.
It becomes almost meaningless percentage-wise. It's 0.025% of his wealth.
0.025%.
For someone with, say, a $100,000 net worth, which is still doing pretty well, spending the proportional amount would be like spending $25. $25.
Like buying lunch.
Yeah, or a cheap subscription. It's nothing to him. But that same $50 million could have paid the salaries, kept the lights on, for those 500 families whose corporate jobs just vanished for a whole year.
That's the paradox right there.
That's it.
Which, leads people to talk about philanthropy. Bezos has pledged to give away his fortune. He donates billions.
He does, but the sources draw a really important line between charity and justice.
Explain that difference.
Well, charity is voluntary, right? It's one wealthy person looking around and deciding, okay, I think this problem deserves funding, but maybe not that one. It's their choice.
Right. Based on their interests or priorities.
Exactly. Justice, though. Justice asks a deeper question. It asks, why is the system set up like this in the first place? Why does it allow one person to accumulate $200 billion while the people who helped build that wealth face layoffs the moment AI looks cheaper?
So it's about structural fairness, not just generosity after the fact.
Precisely. When one person has the power to decide where billions go, is that really democracy solving problems? Or is it something else? Maybe, like the sources suggest, plutocracy with good PR.
So this deep dive, it feels like it lays out two really stark paths forward, two choices society is facing right now, embodied in this whole story.
Right. I think that's right. Choice number one, we just accept this. We accept a system where, lavish excess and desperate job searches happen in the same news cycle, as the sources put it.
Where the stock market literally cheers a 13% jump when thousands of people lose their jobs because it might mean higher future returns for the shareholders.
That's one path. Or choice number two, we demand something different. We demand a system that actually values human contribution, the loyalty, the skills, the careers people build, more than just the absolute relentless pursuit of maximizing profit, especially when it's driven by AI replacing people.
A system that considers the human cost.
Yeah. And the urgency comes from just how fast things are moving, how fast that wealth piles up for some, and how fast a career can just disappear for others.
Okay, let's do that final calculation then. Focus it on your time listening to us talk. How long we've been going? Maybe 45 minutes?
About that, yeah.
So in the 45 minutes it took us to have this deep dive, Jeff Bezos' wealth, based on that average rate, it likely increased by around $4.3 million.
$4.3 million while we were just talking.
And that $4.3 million, that's like 43 years of salary for someone making $100,000 a year.
Gained in under an hour. While 14,000 people, many probably making around that salary or more, are suddenly figuring out their next move in a job market where those roles are shrinking.
Right. And the final thought the source material leaves us with, something for you to really chew on. For so long, the promise was that those white-collar, college-educated jobs, those were the safe
The
ones.
firewall against
Yeah,
automation.
but now AI is hollowing out the white-collar ranks, as they put it, and the market rewards it. So the question becomes, what does job security even mean anymore? And where should we as a society start demanding real accountability for the human fallout of this automation wave?
That's the question to sit with. Where does the accountability lie now?